All right, guys, this is the review for the test. So before I get to the review, I want to go over vertical lines and horizontal lines. So for vertical lines, we use the acronym to help you guys remember the equation and the slope, VUX. Now, V stands for vertical, and let me make this bigger, view zoom 100. Okay, so V stands for vertical line. Okay. And the U stands for undefined. M is equal to undefined. The slope is undefined. And X just equals the number. That's the equation of the line. So let's look at it now. So we have our XY plane and we have two lines, right? Two vertical lines. And let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say this is -5 right here. All right, so this line crosses the x-axis, -5, and let's say this is -1, -2 right here. Okay, so the equation is usually you're familiar with y equals mx plus b for the equation of the line. All right, but for vertical lines, right, the equation is just x equals, right, the number on the x-axis where the line crosses it. So this equation crosses the x-axis at -5. So the equation for it is going to be x equals -5. All right. And for this other line on the left now, the line crosses the x-axis at -2. Therefore, the equation is going to be x equals. I'm sorry, x equals. This is 5. What am I? This is 5. That's 5. And so the equation over here is x equals -2. Sorry about that, guys. X equals 5. All right. Okay, so that's vertical line. So remember now, the slope is undefined. Undefined, right? Undefined. It means that the slope doesn't exist. Undefined does not mean zero. So undefined does not mean zero. So don't put m equals 0 for that. And the other slide for horizontal, uh, we use H O Y. H stands for horizontal. 0, the O stands for M. The slope is 0, and Y is just Y equals a number. So, for horizontal lines, the slope is always 0. Okay. Now, the equation of these two lines, so let's say this is 0 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say this is 5, and say this is -2 again, right there. So for the top line, okay, the equation is y equals the number where the line crosses the y-axis, y equals 5. And the bottom equation now, y is equal to -2. So those are the equations. So special, these two lines are special. That's why I want to make sure you understand it. So know the slope of these lines and know how to write the equations. Okay. So let's move on to today's review. Okay, the variable we use for slope is m. Right? M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. Now, when we find the slope, right, it's a process. You're going to pick 2 points and then write the equation, which is right here. Write the equation. Write the equation. Then you're going to decide which point is x1, y1. And which one is x2, y2. And then you're going to substitute the points into the formula, right? So you're going to substitute the points into the equation and then solve for m. Solve for m. So let's look at these 2 points right here. We have 2, 5, and let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's go to view zoom. Let's go to 125. So we have 2 points, right? So now I'm going to identify my x1, y1. So let this be x1, that's my y1, x2, y2. So next step is my equation. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, once I've done that now, let's substitute the points. All right, my y2 is 1 minus my y1 is 5. My x2 is 7 minus, and my x1 is 2. So 1 minus 5, that's going to give me -4 over 7 minus 2 is going to be 5. So my slope is -4 over 5. Okay. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake on these. Okay. All right. Next one is -6, 2, 8, -3. And so again, I'm going to identify my x1. So that's my x1. That's my y2. I'm sorry, my x1, y1, my x2, y2. And then I'm going to write my slope. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and get some more space. And so I'm going to substitute my points now. My y2 is -3 minus my y1 is 2, and that's over my x2 is 8 minus my x1 is -6. So remember, two negative signs give me a positive. So that's going to give me now -3 minus 2, that is -5 over 8 plus 6. And so that's going to give me -5 over 8 and 6 is 14. -5 over 14. Okay, so that's my slope right there. All right, guys. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, here you're asked to calculate the rate of change. Rate of change is just the slope, all right? And so I'm going to do two ways. I'm going to use the rise of a run and the slope formula. So let's go rise of a run. I'm going to pick 2 points. I call them pretty points. So that's 1 point right there and 1 point right there. And so my slope is rise over run. Rise over run. And if I notice, I'm going to rise 1, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4. So my run is 4. And because I went to the right, my slope is positive. So 1 over 4 is my slope. 1 over 4. All right. Let's do it with the slope formula. All right. So let me go back and erase this right here. Um, this point right here is 0, 4. 0, 4 is that point. And this point right here is 4, 5. 4, 5 is that point. So I'm going to identify my x1 again. This is my x1, that's my y1, this is my x2, that's my y2. And then my slope formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now let's substitute the points. All right. So my y2 is 5, my y1 is 4, my x2 is 4 minus my x1 is 0. And so that's going to give me 5 minus 4. That's going to give me 1 over 4 minus 0 is 4. And so my slope is 1/4. Okay. All right, let's try this one over here. I'm going to do rise over run again for this one. Let's pick two good points. I'm going to go with the y-intercept. And then another point I can use is going to be, let's go with this one. It's a good point right here. And so my rise is going to be, I'm going to rise 1. Okay. So my rise is going to be 1. Let's different color. Okay, my rise is going to be 1, and my run is going to be 1, 2. So because I went to the left now, it's going to be negative. So my slope here is going to be negative 1 over 2. And then I could pick 2 points. All right, let's go with slope formula. My 2 points are this point, the y-intercept is 0, 0, comma, negative 1. And the other point is 2, comma, 2. Okay, so let me get, I need some more space. So my x1, my y1, my x2, my y2. And so my slope is going to be m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Plug in the points. My y1 is 2. I'm sorry, my y2 is 2 minus my y1 is negative 1. And then my x2 is 2 and my x1 is 0. So this is going to be a positive. So that's going to be 3 over 2. I made a mistake somewhere. Ah, 0, negative 1, and 1, 2, 2. I'm sorry, this will be negative 2. There you go. 2, comma, negative 2. So that's where I made my mistake. So this should be negative 2. My y2 is negative 2. Mine, okay, exactly. All right, so this should give me negative 2 plus 1 over 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. Negative 2 plus 1 is just uh, negative 1 over 2. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, the second point is 2 comma negative 2. That's where I made my mistake. All right. All right, let's move on to this one. This one asks you to find the slope. Again, it's the same process, guys. I'm just going to do number 5, and you guys can do number 6 by yourself. All right. That want to find the slope. Some folks they saw m and they were trying to find the y-intercept. No, it's the slope they asked for. So pick 2 points. I'm just going to go with these 2 right here. So it's going to be negative 2, negative 2, comma, negative 4 is 1 point, and the other point is 0, comma, 2. So my x1 is that one, that's my y1, that's my x2, that's my y2. My formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's substitute the points. So my y2 is 2 minus my y1 is negative 4 over my x2 is 0 minus my x1 is negative 2. So this is going to give me a positive, a positive. So I'm going to get now 2 plus 4, 2 plus 4 over 0 plus 2, which is going to be 6 over 2, which is 3. So my slope is 3. Okay? So go ahead and try number 6 on your own. Um, okay, and you should get 3/5. Try it and see. Answer for this one is 3/5. See if you get that for your answer. All right. Okay, let's look at this one here. It asks you to find the x and y intercept. So this is my x. This is my y intercept. All right. That is 0, comma 2. Remember that. All right. Remember for x for y intercept, it's of the form 0, comma y. Remember that. And for x intercept, it's going to be right here, which is 4, comma 0. All right. And for that, it's going to be x, comma 0 is the form. For this one, my x intercept is 1, comma 0, and my y intercept is 0, comma negative 2. All right. Okay, that's it. Let's move on to next one. Here they ask for the x-intercept. So for the x-intercept, right? Let's do the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, I'm going to use, you come down the x column, wherever you see 0, right? The corresponding number is your y-intercept. So that's going to be 4 right there. For the x-intercept now, you come down the y column, wherever you see 0, the corresponding number is going to be your x-intercept, -5. All right. Same thing on here for the y-intercept. All right. Come down the x column, find 0, and then the corresponding number is your y-intercept, which is -6. Vice versa. To find the x-intercept, come down the y column. I use green. Come down the y column. Wherever you see 0, the corresponding number is going to be your x-intercept, which is -9. All right, guys, make sure we do it correctly. And then number 8, you write the equation from the table. So remember, for the equation is of the form y is equal to mx plus b. Remember that? So we need to find our b and our slope. So the b from this, the y-intercept is going to be, come down, I see 0 here. So my y-intercept is going to be -21. So this is going to be -21. Let's find my slope now. I'm pick 2 points. Let's go with these 2. Okay. So I'm going to pick -4, -14, and 0, -21. All right. Again, next step is identify your x1, y1, x2, y2. Write the slope formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now let's substitute the points. My y2 is going to be -21 minus my y1 is going to be -14. My x2 is going to be 0 minus my x1 is -4. Again, this is going to give me a positive. That's going to give me a positive. And come down here now, I'm going to get now -21 plus 14 over 4. And that's going to give me 14. That's going to be -7. I'm sorry. Did I make a mistake? Number 11. Oh, yes. That's going to be -7, right, over 4. So that's my slope. So my equation now is going to be y is equal to, my slope is -7 over 4x, and my y-intercept is -21. Okay. All right, I'm going to do number 12, okay? Number 12, okay. All right, I'm going to need some more space. So I'm going to erase this right here and have some more space. All right, guys, so hopefully you can pause the video and come back. I need some more space here. So let's erase this. Okay, so number 12, all right, remember the equation is y is equal to mx plus b. I need to find my y-intercept, so I come down the x column, find 0, and the corresponding number is my y-intercept. So -5 is my y-intercept. All right, so let's pick 2 points now to find the slope. Let's pick 2 points. Let's go with these 2 right here. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to have 3, 0 as 1 point and 0, -5 as the other point. So this is my x1, my y1, my x2, my y2. M is going to equal to y2 minus y1, x2. Make sure you follow these steps. You follow these steps, you can't go wrong. All right. So my y2 now is going to be -5 minus my y1 is 0. My x2 is going to be 0 minus my x1 is 3. So negative 5 minus 0, that's going to be negative 5. And on the bottom now, 0 minus 3 is negative 3, which gives me a positive 5 over 3. All right, so my equation now is going to be, get some more space. It's going to be, oh, come on, let's erase this for a second. It's going to be y is equal to, my slope is 5. My slope is 5 over 3x, and my y-intercept was negative 5, minus negative 5. All right? Okay, let's move on to, am I going to have enough time to finish this? I'm not sure. Let's see. John is saving for a new car. Yes, 25,000 saving on plans. Right equation. So the equation is y is equal to mx plus b. So we know the the slope is going to be the rate, right? Each month, 500 each month. That's going to be your rate. So m is going to equal to, that's my m, 500, and b, my initial value is 25,000, is 2,500. So my equation now is going to be m is equal to 500x plus 2,500. All right. And the other one is Tom's doctor projects it to grow at a rate. That's my slope. M is equal to 3 and is currently initial value, my B is 48. So my equation now is going to be y is equal to 3x plus 48. All right. And then we talked about this earlier, HOY and VUX. So let's look at the equation, all right? Okay, how do we graph this? Again, we're going to start with our y-intercept 2. So I'm going to start with 2 right there. My slope is negative 5. I'm going to make this negative 5 over 1. So this is going to be my rise. That's going to be my run. Okay? So remember, if it's negative 5 over, let's go with this. If it's negative 5 over 1, it just means I'm going down 5 and I'm going to run 1. If it's 5 over 1 now, if it's positive, that means I'm going to go up 5, run 1. Okay, just make sure you understand the difference. All right, so here I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1. So that's my second point right here. I'm going to go down 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1. So that's my third point right here. And then you just use a straight line ruler and connect the dots. Okay, connect the dots on that one. So that's it. On this one here, my y-intercept is negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be my starting point right there, negative 4. 3 over 2, that means I'm going up 3 and run 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, and then run 2, 1, 2. So that's my second point right there. Go up 3 again. 1, 2, 3 over 2, 1, 2. That's my third point there. And then I can stop right there and connect all the dots with a straight line. Okay. And then the last slide here, we have an horizontal line, right? So we know m is going to equal to 0, and the equation is y equals that. It's going to equal to the number where it crosses the y-axis, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It crosses the y-axis at 5. Y equals 5. This one, we have a vertical line now, so we know the slope is undefined. Got to remember that, undefined. And then my equation now is going to be x, right? And it crosses at 1, 2, 3. It crosses the x-axis at 3, so x equals 3. All right, guys, and I think that's the That's review right there. Okay. Good luck tomorrow.